What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. 10 undervalued singles to pick up right now. I always like making these videos. This is probably like the fourth or fifth one I've made over the last year or two. It's always fun to look into all these sets and try to decide what cards might go up in value sooner than some others. So here's a little bit of a list that I've compiled. There's some newer cards, there's some older cards, some cards that have been on these lists before, but all of these I think are undervalued. But before we dive into the list, I have a few announcements to make. I'm going to be going live here on YouTube tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's Friday, June 6th, 8 p.m. Eastern time. I wanted to celebrate my 30th birthday by ripping some packs with you guys. I've got some random stuff. I grabbed one of these PokeRev Diamond mystery packs. We'll check that out, see what's in there. I've never opened one of these before. I also met PokeRev the other day at the opening of Rival Cards here in Ajax, Ontario. Really cool. Couldn't pass up the opportunity to meet PokeRev, especially considering he threw me in the intro to one of those videos a couple months ago. But I asked him to sign a couple cards, so I've got a signed PokeRev Gyarados that I'll be giving away to somebody on the channel. We'll also have tons of packs available for our live rip and ship. I've got Destined Rivals, Journey Together, 151 Prismatic. We're going to have prizes. If you pull a special illustration rare, you'll get additional packs. For every pack you buy, you'll get a chance to win an Evolving Skies booster pack. You can decide if you want to rip it on stream, or I can just ship it to you as is. So we'll have some prizes to give away to people who hit SIRs and just people who pick up packs in general. So if you're around, Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, come hang out here with me on YouTube. It'll be a fun time. Whether you want to rip packs or not, I'd love to have you tune in. And I guess without further ado, let's get into this list. First card we have is the Roaring Moon SIR from Paradox Rift. You've probably heard me talk about this card before if you've been in previous live streams. I actually pulled this first pack Magic not too long ago, I think 2 streams ago. It's a card I was looking to pick up. The price is down. I would highly recommend picking this one up if you haven't yet. If you've been eyeing it up, it's at its 1-year low of about $40 right now. I don't think you could go wrong picking this up. There's a lot of Salamence fans out there. I'm a Salamence fan. I think this is better than Salamence. Roaring Moon is one of the few Paradox Pokemon that I think is an improvement on an original design. And when you're looking at those ancient Paradox Pokemon, I feel like Roaring Moon is probably the most popular. It's not the most difficult SIR to pull, but it is difficult. The set is a little bit older. I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot less Paradox Rift. I'd imagine whatever's getting distributed now is what's in collection boxes or booster boxes that stores have been sitting on over the past couple of years. But Roaring Moon, man, it's been dropping a lot. It has hit a high of over $60 over the last year. I feel like it will return there. I don't really see this one dipping much more. It might go down to like $35, but at $40, I feel like this is a great pickup. Another SIR that has dropped a lot recently is the Charizard SIR from Obsidian Flames. I know we've had a few Charizard cards. I think most people would choose the 151 Zard or the Shiny Zard from Paldean Fates before this one. But personally, I think this one is really nice. It looks great in person. It's only $55 right now. It seems to be slowly declining even more, but just like Roaring Moon, I feel like Obsidian Flames is going to get harder and harder to come by. There's a lot less of it popping up in collection boxes right now as well. As the sealed product keeps getting more expensive and less people are inclined to open it, these cards are going to end up going up in value once they land in people's collections that don't want to sell them anymore. Its 1-year low has been about $40, so right now $55 isn't necessarily the lowest it's been, but I wouldn't be surprised if it starts spiking back up once it hits that $50 mark. Another note with this card, if you can find it in a PSA 10 for a relatively good price, it might be smart to pick up. This card was very difficult to grade. Most of them came out of the pack with nicks in the corners. I've looked at dozens of copies of this. I've talked to people that have looked at hundreds of copies of this and have not found one that they would say is a solid PSA 10 contender. Right now, the price of a PSA 10 is about $330. If you can get that sub 300, it might be a solid pickup. And if you look at the pop report on this card, like I'm just looking at collector here, so numbers might not be exact, but a PSA 9, you're looking at 17,600 copies. Now you'd imagine, okay, there's been a lot of these graded, of course, 17,600 PSA 9s. I'd imagine there's got to be more PSA 10s. That is not the case. There's only 8,800 PSA 10s. That's a lot less. That's less than half of the PSA 9s. So that should go to show you the grading of this card is very difficult. It is worth the money to grab a PSA 10, and I feel like long term, the PSA 10 value of this card is going to go up. All right, switching gears to an illustration rare. We've got Ghastly from Temporal Forces. I don't think I have a ton to say about this card. It's Ghastly. It's got Haunter, Ghastly, Gengar, Meowth. It's a banger of a card. Temporal Forces is a little bit older now. I feel like product is starting to dry up a little bit. It's still in that window where I wouldn't be surprised if more booster boxes get dumped on the market. But at the same time, this is a really strong card. $35 for it is a great price. The lowest it was, back end of summer last year. The Pokemon card market just kind of dulled down a lot. A lot of these cards got really cheap. It was going for about $20. But right now, like $35, will it see $20 again? I highly doubt it, unless the Pokemon market just completely loses its flame for a while and just everyone leaves. Ghastly illustration rare, I think, is one that is going to stand the test of time. I think it's a great one to pick up and sit on. I wouldn't be surprised if this goes up to like a $50 IR and even higher eventually. It's not as difficult to pull as something like the Magikarp. But being a Ghastly, like the color scheme on this card, the Pokemon on this card, it's going to be very popular in the future. And I'm honestly surprised that it managed to drop down this much, considering it was going for $60 like 3 months ago. Now, from the same set, you've got the Iron Crown SIR. Iron Crown is, maybe not the most popular Pokemon. I don't think Cobalion is necessarily the most popular Pokemon. But the artwork on this card goes hard. It was the top card in the set on release. And we've seen it spike up and drop over the last year. It's hit $80 at multiple times. Like back at the beginning of December, it was going for $80. June of last year, this time last year, it was going above $80. It was going for over $100 at one point in May of last year. Right now, it's pretty well at its all-time low of $53, $54. I'd pick this up. Again, like some of these SIRs are super cheap. It's not easy to pull. Like this is a lot more difficult to pull than some special illustration rares. Again, I think the artwork is awesome. I recently picked a PSA 10 up. Didn't really get a great deal on it because I bought it and then it dropped down a lot in price. I think I bought mine back in April at some point. It was like $65 raw. So it's dropped about $10. I'm sure the slab has dropped down about, $40, $50 since as well. But I'm a believer this card will go up. I wouldn't be surprised if eventually this is like an $80 to $100 card once again. I got two more SIRs here that I want to gang up, and it's the Koraidon and Miraidon from Scarlet and Violet base set. I kind of talked about these recently in that Chat GPT video I made. It recommended me a lot of stuff from Scarlet and Violet base. I think it was just scrubbing some bullshit articles off the internet. But either way, I didn't agree with everything it said, but I agree with Miraidon and Koraidon being a good purchase right now. Miraidon's really low. It's all-time low. Miraidon is pretty low right now. Its 1 year low was $14. Right now it's at about $18. Its high has been $27. I feel like if you can pick this up for $15, it's a no-brainer. It's one of the box art legendaries. It's a special illustration rare. Of course, it was easy to pull. All these SIRs from SV base were pretty easy to pull. But $15 for an SIR, I feel like is a no-brainer. This card should go up in the future. Whether it's a year, 2 years, 5 years, I don't know. But I feel like if you're picking this up, $15, solid deal. Koraidon's a little bit cheaper. 1 year low was under $10. Right now it's going for about $14. Its high about $21. Again, not necessarily a card that everyone is paying attention to, but sometimes these sleeper cards do really, really well. And again, the artwork on this guy is great. If you can pick this card up between $10 and $15, I'd say go for it, man. Maybe pick up an extra copy to sit on as well. It's one I have in my collection. I think, again, like I just said, I've said it a few times now. A $15 special illustration rare is a no-brainer. It's going to take more than a few packs to pull this. Even if you're getting the SV base packs at $5, you open 3 of them, you're probably not hitting this card or any SIR. Maybe an IR, but you're not going to hit this card. Just pick it up. It's a great price and potential to go up in the future. Now back to some bigger cards. We've got the Gardevoir from Paldean Fates. We've seen Charizard do really good. We've seen Bubble Mew do extremely well. Gardevoir hasn't really done too much. It hit a low of about $40, so right now isn't necessarily the best time to pick it up. About 6 months ago, 7 months ago, it was $40. Spiked up in the new year, started January to about $95. Now you've seen it dropping steadily throughout the last 5 months. Right now it's going for about $74, and it could keep going down. I think if this card hits like 65 bucks, it's going to be when I pick it up. I'm a big fan of this one. It's my favorite card from this set. I slacked when it was at 40 bucks. I was saying to pick it up. I made videos talking about it. This card is worth it. Pick it up. I didn't pick it up because I didn't think the market was going to get as hot as it did, like I'm sure nobody expected. But I'm kind of happy to see it dropping back down a bit in price. Of course, Paldean Fates is harder to come by. The packs are getting very expensive. Everyone wants that Bubble Mew. This set is going to be really good long term. I'm sure you know that. But this won't be the #1 card ever. It might keep going down. I think it's one to watch. I wouldn't necessarily pick it up right now. But if you don't have it yet and you want to pick it up, the time is approaching. I've got 3 more for you. We're throwing it back to Sword and Shield with the Celebi alt art from Fusion Strike. I think the days of this card being really cheap are gone. It was going for like $27, $28 6 months ago, 9 months ago. When everything just blew up in value in the beginning of January, it was going for about $68. Has settled back down to 50 and looks like it's going to continue to drop. I feel like this is one of those ones that was kind of slept on. It was forgotten about. Bigger distractions, bigger fish to fry in Fusion Strike with the Espeon and the Gengar. But 50 bucks, like if you can get a good copy of this card for 50 bucks, I'd say go for it. It's a no-brainer. Beautiful artwork, and I wouldn't be surprised if one day more attention gets put on it. This next one, I'm expecting to have a little bit of backlash on, but it's the Rainbow Charizard VMAX from Champion's Path. Right now going for about $180. Its 1 year low was $150. This card at one point was like a $400-$500 single. Of course, that was like original peak Pokemon hype, I guess, Logan Paul Pokemon hype. We saw this card get really expensive. It was like the chase card of like the year, I guess, at the time. Well before we had alternate arts, IRs, SIRs, all this crazy stuff we have today. But I think a lot of people know that eventually we're going to see Rainbow Rares get a little bit of popularity. One day it's going to be like looked back on as nostalgic for a certain demographic of collectors. That might not be for another 5 years, 10 years. I don't know. But Charizard being like the best rainbow card from the Sword and Shield generation and being $180, like that's not really too bad. This one's a bit more of a gamble. Like, will it ever be a very expensive or sought after card? I don't know. I think there's a lot of collectors out there. There's a lot of people that would like it in their collection, but it's also kind of old news. It's going to take a little while for people to think back on it and be like, oh, you remember rainbow cards? Those were sweet. Rainbow Charizard VMAX. I remember always wanting that card and never pulling it out of Champion's Path. All I pulled were Machamps. They might want to pick this up. I guarantee you somebody is going to say exactly what I just said at some point in the next 5 to 10 years and want to pick this up. Whether or not it's going for $100 then or $500, it's hard to tell. But I personally do feel like this is a good one to be picking up, or at least thinking about picking up. Now, the last card on the list, we're going to talk about a card from Lost Origin, another alt art, one I've mentioned in a few of these videos, especially my Undervalued alternate art videos. It's the Aerodactyl V. I've never heard someone say they don't like this card, yet it's only $130 to pick up. It's been a lot cheaper even over the last year. It's been as low as like $93. Right now, $130, as I just mentioned. Lost Origin packs continue to go up in value. That Giratina has been cemented as one of the #1 hits from the entire Sword and Shield generation. I don't see those packs ever going down in price. I doubt many people are ripping into them, still chasing Giratina. It's smarter to just pick up the card at this point. And Aerodactyl, man, it has a lot going for it. Like I've always mentioned, if it's an original 151, like a fan favorite Pokemon, that's a check. If it's good artwork, that's a check. If it's from a good set, that's a check. Like, it's a great card. And for $130, I think it's a great price. Will this ever be a $500 alt art? Probably not. But will it go up to like $200 at some point? I feel like it would. Definitely slept on. Maybe not necessarily undervalued, but slept on for sure. It's definitely a card that's in my sights to pick up in the future. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. Let me know in the comments below, what is an undervalued Pokemon card in your opinion? It doesn't have to be on this list. Anything that you think is undervalued, I'd love to hear it. I'd love to chat about it in the comments section. One last time, I want to plug my live stream. I'm trying to do these every other week going forward. It might be every other Friday. Haven't decided yet, but come check it out if you want to see me rip one of these PokeRev Diamond packs. If you want a chance to win a PokeRev signed Gyarados card, an Evolving Skies pack. If you want to rip some Destined Rivals, come hang out. It's going to be a fun time. And of course, there'll be more content coming soon. I'll have a video on the tag team market coming up in the future. I think I'm going to make one on sealed product that's going down in value right now, and another video on the Sword and Shield sealed market. So lots of content in the works. So of course, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out. And yeah, that's going to be it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.